The Walking Dead, Season 3, Episode 3, Walk With Me. Episode 3 of The Walking Dead Season 3, Walk With Me, shifts focus away from Rick's group and introduces one of the series' most compelling settings and characters, Woodbury and the Governor. This episode marks the return of Andrea and Michonne, who find themselves entangled in the politics and hidden dangers of this seemingly idyllic community. Plot summary. The helicopter crash. The episode begins with Andrea, Laurie Holden, and Michonne, Danai Gurira, observing a military helicopter crashing in the woods. Drawn to the scene, they discover that the wreckage has attracted a group of armed men led by the governor, David Morrissey. The governor and his men, including the sharp-tongued Merle Dixon, Michael Rooker, who is revealed to have survived his separation from the group in Season 1, investigate the crash and execute the injured soldiers to prevent them from turning. Andrea and Michonne are discovered and taken to Woodbury, a fortified town where survivors appear to be thriving under the governor's leadership. Welcome to Woodbury. In Woodbury, Andrea and Michonne are introduced to the governor, a charismatic and seemingly benevolent leader who offers them food, shelter, and safety. Andrea, weakened from her illness and desperate for stability, is drawn to the governor's charm and the promise of a normal life. Michonne, however, remains skeptical, her instincts warning her that Woodbury may not be as perfect as it seems. The town itself appears to be a sanctuary, with gardens, armed guards, and a sense of community. The governor proudly shows Andrea and Michonne around, emphasizing the safety and order he has created. Despite the facade of normalcy, Michonne is distrustful, particularly of how much control the governor exerts over the town and its residents. Merle's return. Merle, who has been outfitted with a blade prosthetic for his severed hand, reunites with Andrea. Their tense interaction highlights Merle's bitterness over being left behind on the rooftop in Atlanta and his loyalty to the governor. Merle's unpredictable and volatile nature adds an element of danger to Woodbury, even as he appears to have found a place within the governor's inner circle. The governor's true nature. As the episode progresses, cracks in the governor's benevolent image begin to show. While he presents himself as a protector and leader, his actions reveal a darker side. The governor leads a mission to track down the rest of the soldiers from the helicopter crash, killing them and taking their weapons for Woodbury's arsenal. He justifies his actions as necessary for the survival of his people, but the brutality of his methods raises questions about his morality. Later, in a private moment, the governor is shown in his home, sitting in a room filled with aquariums containing walker heads, including those of the soldiers. This chilling reveal exposes his obsession with control and his deeply unsettling personality. Michonne's distrust. Michonne remains wary of the governor in Woodbury, frequently questioning the governor's motives and the fate of the soldiers. She is particularly concerned about the governor's refusal to allow Andrea and herself to leave freely, sensing that the town's apparent safety comes at a cost. Her suspicions deepen when she discovers that her pet walkers, whom the governor's men had confiscated, were summarily killed without her consent. Michonne's unease and her protective instincts toward Andrea drive a wedge between them, as Andrea begins to embrace the comfort and stability of Woodbury. Key themes and elements. Trust and deception. The governor's charisma and apparent kindness mask his true nature, forcing Andrea and Michonne to navigate the thin line between safety and danger. Morality and leadership. The governor's actions raise questions about what it takes to lead in the apocalypse, contrasting his ruthless pragmatism with Rick's more morally grounded leadership style. Survival and control. Woodbury represents a controlled environment where the illusion of safety is maintained through strict governance and hidden brutality. Loyalty and conflict. The reintroduction of Merle creates tension, as his loyalty to the governor contrasts with his unresolved animosity toward Rick's group. Character development. Andrea's desire for stability and her growing trust in the governor highlight her vulnerability and her need to believe in something after months of hardship. Michonne's distrust of the governor and her refusal to let her guard down underscore her survival instincts and fierce independence. The governor. The episode establishes the governor as a complex and dangerous antagonist, blending charm with ruthlessness. Merle Dixon. Merle's return adds complexity to the story, as his loyalty to the governor and his unresolved issues with Rick's group create new conflicts. Memorable moments. The helicopter crash, a visually striking and ominous opening that sets the tone for the episode. The governor's cold execution of the soldiers, a shocking moment that reveals his true nature. Merle's reintroduction, a dramatic and unexpected twist that ties back to the series' earlier seasons. The chilling reveal of the governor's room filled with walker heads, a moment that solidifies him as a dangerous and unpredictable character. Michonne's defiance and distrust, which set up future conflicts between her and the governor. Conclusion. Walk With Me is a pivotal episode that expands the world of The Walking Dead by introducing Woodbury and the Governor, one of the series' most iconic antagonists. The episode balances the intrigue of a new setting with the growing tension between Andrea and Michonne, laying the groundwork for future conflicts. With its mix of suspense, character development, and shocking revelations, Walk With Me is a standout installment that deepens the show's narrative and raises the stakes for the survivors.